crazy in love with you.
Why me?
Because I like to watch you play. You go to another place. You get this crease in your forehead right there.
Hi!
How are you?
Great to see you guys. Gail, as an author, books to movies, transition. Did you have concerns? Were you worried?
I was worried until it landed in first with Chloe, and then it was like that was like, okay, Chloe, it's a heavy lifting role, and there's very few young actresses who can handle it, and Chloe is sort of the top of the heap. So when that happened, it was like, okay, that's one thing I can check off. And then when it landed with R.J. Cutler as director and I met him and talked to him, I actually then really relaxed because I just knew that he got it on a really cellular level. He understood the characters, he understood the parents, he understood the music. So I was able to kind of like let go and really sort of trust that they were going to make that translation from the book to the screen.
Isn't it amazing how life is one thing and then in an instant it becomes something else? Like here I am, Mia, the girl who thinks about the cello and Adam and Juilliard. And just like that.
Chloe, this is such an emotional role to take on Mia. How were you able to put all of that up there on the screen?
I mean, it was hard. It was tough. I mean, you know, when I first read the script, I was like, geez, I really want to do this project, but this is going to be like every day. It's a monumental load of emotion to take on. And I had to just step back and go, I gotta take this one day at a time, because if I look at the whole week, I will not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
And you also learned to play the cello. Why the cello for this character?
You know, there's a line in the movie, sometimes you make choices and sometimes choices make you. And I think for Mia, the cello was a choice that makes her. And for me as an author, it was a choice that made me because that was the genesis of the book. I woke up one morning, I had this character in my head, fully formed, 17 years old, very serious, more mature than I was in many ways, and she was a cellist, and I knew nothing about the cello.
Did you?
Authors, I don't know.
Did you know anything about the
More
cello?
than I did, yeah.
I mean, I've always been a fan of classical music, and I've honestly, like, shockingly, as a really young girl, I was obsessed with it. And I always felt that the cello was a very versatile instrument. And I think the cello was the perfect choice for Mia, even if it was a subconscious choice, I think, because Mia has so many different emotions and so many different ranges, and she's not just a violin. She has no kind of stop to the depth of her sound. And that's why the cello, I think, is so great for her, because she has no kind of boundary to how deep she can go. She can go here and here, and it's very emotive. It's an incredibly emotive instrument, and I think that it was, even subconsciously, the perfect choice for her to be a classical cellist.
How difficult was the casting of Adam, and how did you know when you found him?
He just walked in the room for me. I mean, I think the casting was huge. They did like a 3-continental, like, you know, kind of search for this guy, and he just kind of walked into the room, and I was the first one to be like, that's Adam.
I remember watching like the finalists, and it was just so clear that like he was the one, and the rest were just he was Adam. He just brings all of this sort of the characteristics of Adam. Like he has the swagger and the vulnerability, and he also can like sing and play guitar. And it was kind of amazing that they found him, because it was such a hard role to cast when you thought about it, because he had to have all this, but he also had to be an actual musician, because that was something the filmmakers felt really strongly about, that the musicians actually had to be musicians.
You wrote me a song.
You're my home, Mia. Stay.
Say something.